I was born in 2000 and grew up in a quiet town in northeast Ohio. Ours was a modest ranch-style house, 3 bedrooms, a small kitchen, and a living room where I spent countless nights watching movies with my mom. She made sure I never felt the absence of anything important. After Mom tucked me in and turned off the light, the floorboards beside my bed creaked softly, not in the hallway, but right there next to where I lay. I held my breath and listened. Then I heard breathing, slow, heavy, coming from beneath me. After she kissed me goodnight and switched off the light, I heard the subtle thud of her knees against the floor and felt the mattress shift slightly as she crawled under the bed. Then came the steady sound of her breathing. Each night, she tucked me into bed, kissed my forehead, and tell me she loved me. It was our routine. I always felt safe until the lights went out. It was just the two of us. My father had left when I was too young to remember. On the nights I dared to move, a gentle hand would grasp my ankle from under the bed, not to hurt me, just enough to stop me. Then that same quiet, unsettling giggle. My mother worked hard as a waitress at a local diner, always coming home exhausted yet gentle. How could I? What child has the words to explain something so bizarre? And during the day, she was the same loving, attentive mother she'd always been. It felt like living in two worlds, one safe and warm in daylight, and one cold and confusing at night. But as I got older, the truth felt darker. Eventually, Mom told me I was old enough to have a lock on my bedroom door. After that, she never came back under the bed. I must have been around 6 or 7 when I noticed it for the first time. Terrified but curious, I leaned over the edge of my bed and whispered, "Mom." She didn't answer. Instead, I heard a faint giggle, soft and strange. Moments later, she crawled out from under the bed as if nothing unusual had happened. Smiling gently, she whispered, "Go to sleep, sweetheart. Mommy's here," before leaving the room. When I was 23, my mother passed away after a long battle with cancer, and said, "I kept you safe. You know, you were never alone at night." In her final days, drifting between lucidity and confusion, she sometimes spoke in whispers I couldn't quite understand. The next night, it happened again. Glancing toward the foot of the bed, I'd catch a glimpse of her face, pale and silent, with one eye reflecting the faint light from the hallway. Was there something she protected me from? Something unseen that she fought off by being so close? Or was it something darker that I was never meant to know? Her expression unreadable, just staring. At that age, I didn't fully question it. Part of me thought it might be a game. It became a ritual. Each night, she'd tuck me in, turn off the light, and slip under the bed. And then, slowly, stranger things began to happen. Sometimes, she'd tap against the wooden boards under my mattress 3 taps, then 2, then 4, patterns that felt random yet intentional. If I moved, the tapping stopped. If I lay still, it resumed. There were nights when I'd sense her watching me. Sleep became nearly impossible. Fear rooted me in place. I never spoke of it. Once, when I was around 10, I gathered the courage to ask her directly, "Mom, why do you sleep under my bed?" She simply smiled and said, "Oh honey, I don't do that. You must have been dreaming." That night, the tapping came back louder than before. By the time I turned 11, I avoided sleeping in my room altogether. Some nights I'd pretend to fall asleep on the couch. I never understood why it started or why it stopped. Years passed. But on one of her last clear nights, she reached for my wrist, her grip surprisingly strong. To this day, I don't fully understand what she meant. All I have are memories, some warm, some terrifying, but all of them, strangely, bound by love.